What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking on the channel. So this video you're about to see is one that I actually made for myself several years ago when I was doing my research and I was traveling through the Southwest, and I was in Lincoln, New Mexico, and I was on the spot where Alexander McSween's house used to stand. So obviously Alexander McSween was the lawyer for John Tunstall, who was an Englishman that was in Lincoln County and had started a general store, and who got into a big fight with the Murphy Dolan faction. So obviously Billy the Kid worked for Tunstall, and so when Tunstall was killed, he wanted to get revenge for his boss. And it's a long story for another time, but basically there's a famous battle at Alexander McSween's house where the Regulators are surrounded by the US Army as well as the Murphy Dolan faction, and they're trapped in this house. They want to escape, they can't escape, they're completely surrounded, and then even worse, their enemies decide to set the house on fire. So the house burns, it burns for a really, really long time, and then finally they decide they just have to make a break for it. So they do make a break for it, and a lot of them are mowed down and killed as they break for cover. And as you probably know, Billy the Kid escaped. It's one of his more miraculous escapes. How he did it is still beyond me. And basically, I'm on the spot where all this happened, and I know what Brushy Bill said happened, and so I'm kind of talking through it, really, again, for myself. Now, what's funny is it's a little dramatic at parts, and I kind of roll my eyes at it. So if you want to roll your eyes at it, I'm okay with that, no issue, because I really wasn't trying to be dramatic. There was some dude watching me. He was kind of giving me the dirty eyeball, and so I didn't know if he was gonna like come over and tell me to leave or what. So I was trying to hurry through it, but I wanted to get it on film, because really by walking through it and videoing walking through it, I thought it might lead me to ask more questions or maybe provide a hint at something. So I don't really know, but basically it was just a process I was going through as part of my research to really tell the story of it. So I hope you like it. Again, it's a little cheesy in the sense that it's kind of overly dramatic at parts, which I didn't mean for it to be. It's just, you know, you're in the moment and you're kind of trying to like get through this while some guy's giving you the dirty eyeball over on the sidewalk over there. So I don't know. It is what it is, but I hope you like it. And if you do, please like and subscribe. Oh, and I just want to tell you that Billy the Kid lived to be an old man. He lived to a ripe old age, and he died a free man in Hyco, Texas. Thanks for watching.
I'm standing in the bloodiest spot of the Lincoln County War, the former home site of Alexander McSween, where Billy the Kid and the Regulators made their last stand against the Murphy Dolan faction. Right here, on this site, next to the Tunstall store, where Alexander McSween, Billy the Kid, and the Regulators holed up to defend themselves against the Murphy Dolan faction. Here was a beautiful two-story home, which had the only grand piano in the entire county, which was a source of civic pride. A reputable attorney was basically surrounded and executed by not only the Murphy Dolan faction, but also the United States Army. It was here in 1878, July 15th to 19th, where McSween rode into town with Billy the Kid and the Regulators. They were shot at by the Murphy Dolan gang. They took up defensive positions here in the Tunstall store and all around town. And likewise, the Murphy Dolan faction did the same. Things were starting to go the way of the Regulators until Colonel Dudley from Fort Stanton came in with his soldiers, ran a bunch of Billy's friends out of town, and basically swayed the fight in their direction. It would end with this site being burned to the ground. This was the kitchen where they set the adobe building on fire. The fire burned all day, and at night the kid and his friends finally had to make a run for it. They busted out of the house right here. They were surrounded. There were soldiers on that hilltop over there. Snipers. There were snipers all around the mountains trying to pick off the Regulators. And Billy the Kid busted out right here. Alexander McSween's law partner went first and was cut down. And Billy came out second, both 6 guns blazing. The guys behind him were cut down. The guy in front of him was cut down. But Billy the Kid come blazing out. He shot Bob Beckwith in the head right here. Came running to get to the Tunstall store, was driven back by gunfire, turned for the river, ran down this path, crossed the river, lost his 6 gun in that river, and went off into the mountains. So if his 6 gun is in that river, it's still there, and we can find it. The rest of the party was driven back into this enclosure that was here. There was a board fence between here and the store, also an adobe wall. A lot of them were cut down right there in that enclosure, including Alexander McSween, who died right here on this spot. Afterwards, the Murphy Dolan gang, with all the dead bodies, posed them with drinks, like they were having drinks with them, and partied all night, hooting and hollering and drinking, celebrating destroying this man's home and ending pretty much the Lincoln County War for everybody except for Billy the Kid. This is where it all happened. The bloodiest site of the Lincoln County War, right here.
A true song of Billy the Kid. I'll sing of some desperate deeds that he did way out in New Mexico long, long ago, when a man's only chance was his own 40.